Okay, so when you hear the name Rio de Janeiro, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably those incredible sun-soaked beaches, the sound of samba, and that absolutely iconic Christ the Redeemer statue looking over the city. There's a very good reason they call it the Marvelous City. But here's the thing. Beyond those perfect postcard images, there's a whole other story. Rio's a city of incredible complexity, of huge contrasts. And in this explainer, we're going to peel back those layers and really get into the story of its explosive growth, its challenges, and the amazing spirit of its people. All right, let's start with the basics. Where exactly is this global landmark, and what makes it so important, not just for Brazil, but for the whole world? Let's dive in. So you'll find Rio right there on the Atlantic coast in southeast Brazil. And the defining feature, the thing that really shapes the city, is the beautiful Guanabara Bay. You can think of this massive natural harbor as the city's lifeblood for centuries. It shaped everything from its economy to its culture. Now, to get a sense of the sheer scale of Rio, let's talk numbers. The city itself, just the main city area, is home to 6.5 million people. I mean, that's more than the entire population of some countries, all living in one vibrant, sprawling place. And that's not even the whole picture. When you zoom out and include the entire urban area around it, the population just explodes to 12.5 million. It's a massive, interconnected region that really shows you what a magnet this city is. And trust me, Rio is way more than just a pretty place. It's like the beating heart of Brazil. It's a huge hub for culture and transport. It's packed with schools and universities, and it's the headquarters for some of the country's biggest companies in oil, mining, and telecoms. Get this one city produces about 5% of Brazil's entire GDP. That's huge. Rio's influence goes way beyond Brazil, too. The whole world knows it. It's a global hotspot for tourists, of course, and think back to when it hosted the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympics. That was Rio on the world stage, showing everyone it's a major international hub for finance and travel. So, the big question is, how did Rio get so massive? The story of its growth is a really fascinating one, all about migration, ambition, and the powerful forces that draw people to cities. The city's population boom really comes down to two key things. First, you've got natural increase, just more births than deaths. But the second and much bigger driver has been this massive wave of migration, with people moving from the countryside into the city. And that migration part of the story is the real game changer here. A staggering 65%, nearly two-thirds of Rio's recent growth is from people moving in to find a new life. It's just such a powerful reminder that cities are built not just out of concrete, but out of the hopes and dreams of millions of people. So what's driving this huge movement of people? Well, it's a classic case of push and pull factors. People are getting pushed out of rural areas because there's a lack of services and fewer jobs. At the same time, they're being pulled into Rio by the promise of a better future. Better schools, better healthcare, and just the chance to build a better life. But this explosive growth didn't come without a cost. For every success story in Rio, there's a story of struggle. It's a city of incredible contrasts, where you can see extreme wealth and deep poverty living right next to each other. Now, the pull of the city is undeniable. It really is a place of opportunity. Compared to the countryside, there's much better access to services like hospitals and universities. And you've got these major industries in clothing, food, chemicals that offer the promise of work and a way forward. But as millions of people arrived, the city just couldn't build housing fast enough to keep up. So this led to the rise of the favelas. These are huge communities that were literally built by the residents themselves on any patch of unused land they could find. They're vibrant, resilient communities born out of necessity. But life in the favelas can be a real daily struggle. Basic things like safe running water and reliable electricity aren't always guaranteed. And because they're so densely populated and often built on these really steep, unstable hillsides, there are constant dangers like landslides. To make a living, a lot of residents work in what's known as the informal economy. We're talking about street vendors, day laborers, people doing casual work. They work incredibly hard, but because there are no formal contracts, there's no safety net. No benefits, no job security. And the challenges of this rapid growth are not just social, they're environmental too. You see huge problems with traffic congestion, air pollution, and just managing the sheer amount of waste that a city this big produces. It puts an enormous strain on everything.
But the story of Rio is absolutely not one of despair. It's a story of incredible resilience, of innovation, and of people who are determined to build a better future. So let's look at how they're doing it, literally from the ground up.
One of the most powerful ideas for making things better is the self-help scheme. The concept is simple but brilliant. The authorities provide the raw building materials like cement and breeze blocks, and the community provides the labor to build or improve their own homes. The money that's saved by doing this can then be used to connect basic services like water and power. It's an amazing way to empower residents. To really see this kind of change in action, we're going to take a look inside Racia, which is Brazil's largest and most well-known favela. It's basically a city within a city, and it's an incredible testament to the power of community.
Rocinha is located on this huge, steep hillside in Rio's south zone, and it actually overlooks some of the city's wealthiest neighborhoods. With a population in the tens of thousands, it's bigger than many towns, and it is a vibrant, chaotic, and totally fascinating place.
And Rocinha is a community that has changed so much over the years. What started as simple shacks are now often multi-story homes built from brick and concrete. The community has fought for and gotten better sanitation, plumbing, and electricity. And there's a bustling local economy with tons of businesses, all showing the incredible entrepreneurial spirit of the residents.
So the story of Rio leaves us at a crossroads. The progress we see in communities like Rocinha gives us a real glimmer of hope for a more equal future. But it also leaves us with a huge question. Can this city of contrasts ever truly bridge the gap between its two worlds? Can community-led change build a future where every single resident has the chance to thrive